Ever get stuck on those big, beefy biology questions? Well, in this explainer, we're going to deconstruct a whole 10-mark question on homeostasis. We'll give you the exact examiner-approved answers you need to absolutely nail it.
Okay, let's dive right in. And just so you know, we're not making this up. Everything we're about to go through comes straight from the official AQA mark scheme. So this is the real deal. This is exactly what the people marking your paper are looking for.
So, what's the plan? Well, we're going to tackle this question in 3 main parts. We'll start with homeostasis, then move on to how the kidney works, and finish up with the hormone ADH. After that, we'll put it all together to show you what a perfect 10-mark answer looks like.
All right, first things first. Let's lock in those first 2 marks. This part is pretty foundational for the rest of the question, so it's super important we get this right.
Now, the question kicks off with what seems like a simple definition, right? But hold on. To get both marks, you need to hit 2 very specific points. Let's break down what they are.
So here's the secret. For your first mark, you need to say that homeostasis is the regulation or maintenance of your internal conditions. But, and this is crucial, to bag that second mark, you have to say why. And the reason is to keep conditions optimum for your cells and enzymes to work properly. You need the what and the why.
Hey, don't get too hung up on using the exact wording from the textbook. The mark scheme's actually pretty flexible. You could say something like keeping internal conditions the same, and that'll get you the mark. As long as you're getting the main idea across, you're good to go.
Okay, you ready to level up? The next 4 marks are all about the kidney. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of how this incredible filtration system in your body actually works. For this part, you have to explain the journey of 3 different substances: glucose, protein, and urea. So think of it like you're telling the story of where each one goes as it passes through the kidney.
First mark is for saying that the small stuff, so glucose and urea, gets filtered out of the blood. It's as simple as that. They're tiny, so they can squeeze right through the filter. For the second mark, you have to point out that the big molecules like protein are not filtered. They're just too large to pass through, so they stay in the blood where they're needed.
The third mark is for glucose. Your body doesn't want to waste this precious energy source, right? So all of that useful glucose gets reabsorbed. Every last bit of it is pulled back into the blood.
And finally, the 4th mark is for the waste product urea. It's a waste product for a reason, so it is not reabsorbed. This is the whole point of your kidneys after all, to get rid of this stuff.
And again, check out the flexibility here. You don't have to be a robot. The mark scheme makes it clear that using slightly different phrasing, like absorbed back into the blood, is totally fine. You'll still get the marks.
Okay, we're on the home stretch now. The final 4 marks. This part is all about a hormone called ADH, which is basically the master controller of your body's water balance.
So, the question wants you to explain what happens when you have high levels of ADH. You need to connect the dots. What does ADH do to the kidney, and what does that mean for your urine?
This is a chain reaction, and you need to describe every link. High levels of ADH cause more water to be reabsorbed from the kidney tubules. That, in turn, makes the urine more concentrated. And because you're reabsorbing water, there's less of it, so the volume of urine goes down. You gotta hit each of those points to get the full 4 marks.
And here's a pro tip for you. The mark scheme says you can also get marks for explaining the opposite. So, if ADH levels are low, you just flip the whole story. Low ADH means less water is reabsorbed, which means you produce a large volume of dilute urine. Knowing both scenarios makes your answer bulletproof.
Okay, let's put it all together. We've taken the question apart piece by piece, and now we're going to build it back up into that perfect 10 out of 10 answer.
So this is it, the whole thing in a nutshell. For homeostasis, remember it's about the what and the why. For filtration, it's about the different paths the molecules take, what gets filtered, what stays, what gets reabsorbed. And for ADH, it's all about that clear cause and effect chain. Master these points and you're well on your way to a top score.
And there you have it. You've got the exact blueprint for how to ace this question. It's not just about memorizing facts, it's about knowing exactly what points you need to make. So what other tricky exam questions would you like to see us break down like this? Let us know.